Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. And wow, this episode of Monarch Legacy of Monsters might be one of the most emotional and shocking episodes the show has delivered so far. Episode 5 doesn't just push the story forward, it completely changes the direction of the series with a devastating loss, a Titan attack, and a failed experiment that proves humanity might still be far from controlling the monsters of the world. This episode takes everything the show has been building since season 1 and brings it crashing down in one brutal moment. We get emotional closure between characters who have been carrying years of pain. We see Apex push its dangerous plan too far, and we finally understand why Titan X was never supposed to appear this early in the timeline. But the biggest moment of all is the shocking death of a major character who has been at the center of the story since the very beginning. So let's break down everything that happened in Monarch Season 2, Episode 5, including that heartbreaking ending, Apex's failed Titan experiment, and what Titan X's migration might really mean for the future of the Monsterverse. The tragic death that changes everything. The biggest and most emotional moment of this episode happens during the final confrontation with Titan X, and unfortunately, it ends with the death of Hiroshi. From the beginning of Monarch Legacy of Monsters, Hiroshi has been one of the most complicated and important characters in the entire story. Back in Season 1, the whole mystery revolved around his disappearance. Cate and Kentaro discovered that their father had been living a secret life connected to Monarch and had even started another family they never knew about. That revelation alone created massive emotional conflict between the siblings, and Season 2 has been exploring the fallout from that secret. Hiroshi has been trying to reconnect with both of his children while also dealing with the complicated return of his mother, Keiko. For Hiroshi, this season has been about reconciliation. He's been trying to rebuild relationships that were broken for decades, especially with Keiko, who disappeared from his life when he was still a child. But just when it seemed like things were finally starting to heal, tragedy strikes. At the end of the episode, Titan X finally arrives at Santa Soledad. The Titan's appearance immediately creates chaos as Monarch and Apex both attempt to deal with the situation. But during the attack, Cate feels a strange connection with the creature, something that pulls her dangerously close to it. This connection puts her directly in the path of danger. During the chaos, one of Titan X's severed tentacles begins falling toward Cate. She's completely exposed, and there is no time for anyone to react. But Hiroshi sees what's happening and immediately jumps in to save his daughter. He manages to push Cate out of the way, but he can't escape himself. The massive tentacle crushes him, leaving him fatally injured. It's a brutal and heartbreaking moment because Hiroshi doesn't die instantly. Instead, the episode gives us one of the most emotional scenes in the entire series. Hiroshi slowly fades away while being held by both his mother and his daughter. In this quiet moment, the three of them sing the same bedtime song that Keiko used to sing to him when he was a child. Hiroshi later passed that same song down to Cate, turning it into a symbol of their family connection across generations. Watching them sing together as Hiroshi takes his final breaths is absolutely devastating. And narratively, it feels final. Hiroshi's character arc reaches its emotional conclusion right here, surrounded by the two people who defined his life. Apex's plan completely backfires. While Hiroshi's death is tragic, it also highlights a much bigger problem in the story: Apex's dangerous obsession with controlling Titans. Fans of the Monsterverse already know that Apex Cybernetics has been secretly working on ways to weaponize Titans. Their long-term goal has always been to control these creatures rather than simply defend against them. In this episode, they attempt to control Titan X using inhibitors inhibitor microchips. These chips are designed to connect to a Titan's nervous system and allow Apex to influence or override its movements. The technology was originally tested on much smaller creatures where it worked, at least temporarily, but Titan X is on an entirely different scale. Even May, also known as Cora, warns Apex that the technology isn't ready yet. She tells them that she needs more time to adjust the coding and properly calibrate the system for a creature as large and powerful as Titan X. But Apex doesn't want to wait. They rush the experiment, and that decision turns out to be a catastrophic mistake. As soon as the chips are activated, the system starts experiencing feedback loops and massive data spikes. The signal becomes unstable, and Titan X quickly begins resisting the control attempt. But the real twist comes from the swarm of scarabs that follow Titan X. These creatures appear to have some kind of symbiotic relationship with the Titan. When they detect the affected tentacle that Apex tried to control, the scarabs swarm over it and sever the limb completely. In other words, Titan X literally removes the part of its body that Apex was trying to control. The attempt fails completely, and because Apex forced the experiment too early, the situation spirals out of control, ultimately leading to the chaos that causes Hiroshi's death. So while Titan X technically delivered the fatal blow, the real responsibility may lie with Apex.
I told you that we couldn't scale the program to something this big. Fix it now.
Can humans ever control Titans? Despite this failure, the episode doesn't completely rule out the possibility of Titan control. The MonsterVerse movies, especially Godzilla vs. Kong, have already shown that Apex is willing to go to extreme lengths in order to dominate the Titans. Episode 5 simply shows that their technology isn't quite ready yet. Cora makes it clear that the test conditions were far from ideal. The chips were rushed into deployment without enough testing, and Titan X is far larger and more complex than the creatures the system was originally designed for. With proper planning, better algorithms, and more time to refine the technology, it's possible that Apex could eventually figure out how to control Titans. And that possibility is honestly terrifying, because if humans ever succeed in controlling creatures this powerful, the balance between humanity and the Titans could shift in unpredictable and potentially catastrophic ways.
So did Bill Randa. The letter was with his things.
Another major revelation in this episode comes from Billy's research into Titan X's movements. Earlier in the season, Billy started tracing the Titan's path across the globe, trying to understand where it was going and why. His investigation eventually leads him back to Santa Soledad. This location is significant because it houses Monarch's Outpost 27, which was active as far back as 1968. That's when Lee and Kiko first discovered the facility during their earlier mission on the island. After Monarch established its presence there, the civilian population of Santa Soledad was relocated, turning the island into a secret research zone. Billy's research reveals that Titan X has a specific migratory route connected to something called the Axis Mundi. According to the data, the Titan was originally supposed to travel from the Axis Mundi to Santa Soledad in the year 2023, but something changed. The Titan woke up much earlier than expected, and the reason appears to be Cate. At some point in the past, Cate unknowingly triggered Titan X's awakening before its natural cycle had completed. That means the Titan's current behavior might not follow its normal pattern anymore. Its migration has been disrupted, and now no one truly knows what the creature's final destination or purpose might be, which makes Titan X even more dangerous.
They celebrated a festival that's foreshadowed the return of this Titan.
Hiroshi and Keiko finally reconcile. One of the most powerful emotional moments of the episode happens shortly before Hiroshi dies. For most of season 2, there has been a lot of tension between Hiroshi and his mother, Keiko. From Hiroshi's perspective, Keiko abandoned him when he was a child. She disappeared for decades while he grew up believing she had simply left him behind. On top of that, Hiroshi later discovered Keiko's old letter to Lee, where she confessed her love for him, but ultimately chose to stay with Billy. That letter created even more confusion and resentment. It suggested that Billy may have felt betrayed and that his sudden disappearance from Hiroshi's life was connected to that emotional fallout. For a long time, Hiroshi didn't know how to confront his mother about all of this. But in this episode, they finally talk. Hiroshi admits that while it was easy to blame Keiko for everything, he also understands her mistakes better now because he ended up making similar choices himself. After all, Hiroshi also lived a double life, falling in love with two different women and creating two separate families. In that moment, he realizes that he isn't so different from the people he once judged. That realization allows them to finally forgive each other. They acknowledge the love that still exists between them, and the emotional wall that had separated them for so long finally disappears, which makes Hiroshi's death moments later even more heartbreaking, because just as mother and son finally reconnect, they lose the chance to rebuild the years they lost.
The people I disappointed. Those mistakes.
What Hiroshi's death means for the future. Hiroshi's death is going to have massive consequences for the rest of the season. First, it will likely deepen Cate's guilt. She already blamed herself for many of the events that happened earlier in the series, and now she may feel responsible for the Titan attack that led to her father's death. Second, Keiko has now lost both her partner and her son to the dangerous world of Titan research. That loss could completely change her motivations moving forward. And finally, this tragedy may push Monarch and Apex even further into conflict, because if Apex's reckless experimentation led to this disaster, Monarch may have no choice but to stop them before their technology becomes even more dangerous. And with Titans like Titan X now roaming the planet, the stakes for humanity have never been higher. But the biggest question now is this: if Titan X woke up years before it was supposed to, what exactly is it trying to accomplish? And if its natural cycle has been disrupted, could something even bigger be coming next? The Monsterverse might just be getting started.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.